Good evening, everyone. My name is Lou Vince, and I'm running for Congress here on the 25th. I am a Democrat running for this office. It's good to look out here and see so many people that I know. I want to thank Al and the moderator and Rick for putting this on. This is a great thing, and hope we have a great debate tonight, or meet and greet, as we like to call it here. I met many of you when I ran for sheriff of Los Angeles County a couple years ago, when I ran on issues of responsible policing, like ending mass incarceration, reforming our antiquated drug laws, or stopping the school-to-prison pipeline, long before they ever became topics of a national conversation. So it's good to be here tonight and see you all again. I've been a cop for 21 years. I'm currently with the LAPD. I'm a lieutenant, and I'm trained to run towards problems, not away from them. And every day I see problems, not just in the 25th, but nationwide, that are going to require bold and progressive solutions. As a cop, as a Marine Corps veteran, and as a local elected official, I know firsthand the positive results that can be attained when people work together for the good of everyone, not just a select few. Unfortunately, we have a Congress, and quite frankly, a congressman, that really don't meet my expectations. Let me tell you a little bit background about myself. I'm a native Californian. I mentioned I'm a Marine Corps veteran. I'm an elected member of the Agua Dulce Town Council. So this is home for me. This is my community right here. Like I said, I've been with the police department for 21 years. My wife and I are raising 4 kids just up the street here, just up Sierra Highway. Their ages 6, 8, 9, and 11. The 3 oldest are boys and the youngest is a girl. We adopted 2 of those children through LA County DCFS because we know that children need strong guidance and support to be successful. And as your congressman, as your representative, one of my main focuses will be on making this community, this district, and the country a better place for all of our children. Some of the more broader issues that I'm concerned about, definitely the environment, definitely combating climate change. The 25th has become an environmental nightmare between the Santa Susana Field Lab, the Whitaker Burmite ammo production facility, I'm losing track of them all, the Porter Ranch gas leak, Chiquita Canyon landfill, and Cemex. Those are things I want to work to either clean up, finally get cleaned up, or stop. Some of the more national issues, expand and protect Social Security and Medicare. As the only veteran up here tonight, I'd like to find educational and job opportunities for our veterans returning from war. That's very important to me. And also, as a parent of 4 children, one of my main concerns is college affordability. I don't know how I'm going to send 4 kids to school, so we need to find ways to make college more affordable for middle-class America so that children that are growing up that are bright and get through their education well and get to college, can go to college and not come out with crushing debt. So those are some of the things I want to work on. I look forward to your questions. Please don't hold back. Ask the tough questions. Thank you. No, go ahead.
We have a couple options here. Okay.
Door number 2.
Again, on the Land and Water Conservation Fund, what is it and why is it important, and would you support it?
I support the Land and Conservation Fund, and I support the oil companies paying into it to conserve land. And there's nothing more important than our environment. I mean, the reason I'm running is for our children, for my children. I want there to be something left for them. We talk about all these other issues, and they're very important, but really the most important issue is the environment and the earth and what will come in the next 20, 50, 100 years, in the next couple centuries. So I do support it.
Legislation so that Medicare can negotiate prices for the drugs? Because right now they can't. Other insurance companies can, but Medicare cannot negotiate drug prices.
Isn't that just the most ridiculous thing? I mean, where else do you go and buy something, a car dealership anywhere, where you can't negotiate? It's absolutely outrageous. So yes, I would absolutely support being able to negotiate. That's going to help seniors with their living expenses. If their Social Security doesn't get a cost of living adjustment, their medications would be more reasonably priced. Other countries are benefiting from our research and development with pharmaceuticals, and we're paying the price for it while other countries are reaping the benefit. So I would definitely support that.
Yeah, I was at a dermatologist's office the other day, and they were going to put me on a biologic.
That was your question, ma'am.
It's part of the drug thing. We told you out of pocket $900, but if you're not on Medicare, you'd only pay $20. What can we do? Because Congress is.
Okay, let him answer the question, please.
Yeah. Like I said, that's un-American, that people are choosing between medicine for their personal health or eating or paying their mortgage payments, while other countries are reaping the benefits of our research and development and us paying full price, $900 for whatever prescription you were going to get. That's outrageous. I do support being able to negotiate that through Medicare.
Elaine Ballasville, in saying that you think that we shouldn't have to pay for more, then why would there be, how would you feel about Measure E, which is another tax which is taking away more money from people who are on fixed incomes?
Well, I do support Measure E. Where's Steve? I want to make sure I know where he is in case he's going to throw something. All right, Steve. You got security. Okay. I do support Measure E. And the reason I support Measure E goes back to kind of what I said about the environment. It's about our children and the next generations. It's about education, and education is the thing I think we should be investing in so we can make a better America for everyone.
But
so
it's not education. You're investing in buildings.
Okay, well, if we want to break it, if we want to break it down to more concrete things like that, let's take, my wife goes to COC. Someone leaves an hour beforehand just to try to find a parking space, may not even find a parking space.
2 hours if you're taking the 405 anywhere.
Okay. Let me answer the question. No
I'm
more
not sure what the
commentary,
question
please.
is anymore. But
Do not interject, please.
well, Steve, it's a great thing about
Okay.
California. You can go to any district you want to go to community college. But people from out of state, I don't know if you know this, Steve, you probably do. For instance, I met someone from Texas that's going to college at the Canyons. They're paying an increased tuition fee. I think that's reasonable because they haven't paid into it here in California.
Next question, please. And may I ask the audience not to interject, please?
It's okay if Steve has something to add.
No, it's not okay. I think
I'm
he's
used to it.
he's disrespecting the panel.
Hi.
Let's get to the question.
Hi, Kimmy.
As we all know, our first responders, police officers and firefighters especially, are overworked, understaffed, and response times are longer, and public safety has become a great issue. What are you prepared to do in Congress to handle this, to find the funding so we can properly staff our police and fire? And when you're in Congress, what are your plans or thoughts on finding the funding that does not cost the taxpayers?
Okay, that's an issue that hits near and dear to my heart. You're absolutely right that our first responders are overworked, and I'll add underpaid, but that's personal. Sorry, thank you. So I would support an omnibus crime control bill to give cities, states funding to hire more police officers, to hire more firefighters, et cetera. But more importantly, I think policing needs to be professionalized. We've seen what happens when policing kind of operates in the 1970s era, when we need to be operating now in 2016. And one way to do that is to have a more professional police force, and to have that through education. And it's important that people that want to be police officers or people that want to be teachers are able to go to college, able to, experience a more diverse population than, say, what they grew up with, and learn to interact with people from different cultures and different points of view. So I definitely want to see, and I've mentioned it in my opening, college affordability for police officers, for teachers, even for firefighters.
Patty Sulpizio.
Hi, Patty.
Hi, Lou. The Los Angeles Times just did an incredible investigative journalist project on the heroin and prescription drug crisis, particularly the drug OxyContin, which they exposed that the family members that own that company marketed that drug incorrectly and misinformed the doctors and their sales reps. Would you support the U.S. Attorney General to indict that company, bring some kind of charges to reimburse the communities, the Medicare, third-party payers who've been paying exorbitantly the cost to care and enforce the laws because of this heroin and prescription drug crisis?
Good question. Absolutely, I would support that. Quite frankly, these so-called white-collar criminals have been getting off scot-free. all we've been doing is, giving them fines, suing them, so forth. I carry handcuffs every day, and I'm going to take those handcuffs to Washington. And hopefully, that's going to, resonate with these people. I want to see people criminally charged, people that cause people to lose their houses. Oh, they pay a fine, they get their golden parachute and retire. That's ridiculous. People that make, tons of money off the OxyContin while they've been lying to the public. That's outrageous. They need to go to prison. They don't need to get sued or slapped on the wrist or have more regulations. They need the silver bracelets.
Snide comment, I'd really like to see you with a gazillion handcuffs on you if you were to go to Washington.
Objection.
I'm sorry. So this Sandra could tell this would be a surprise question, I know. Steve Knight just dropped the Castaic Wilderness from his bill, leaving the St. Francis Dam Disaster Memorial as a standalone bill. Would you have handled it differently?
Yes, and I'd agree with everybody up here that we need, I think the St. Francis Dam Memorial Bill is good. We need more. We need more open space. We need to protect the open space. We need to not be, overdeveloped, especially here in the Santa Clarita Valley where there's a great, vibrant community. We need open space to go out and enjoy the outdoors. To live here, we need to expand it, quite frankly. And that's it. I mean, the St. Francis Dam thing from Steve, it's probably because it's an election year that he wanted to put out some feel-good legislation. I don't know that he necessarily was deeply ingrained in the belief that we needed more open space, but I definitely believe we do.
I have one more question.
Sure.
In this district, we have seen federal funding for youth programs cut drastically, and as a result, our Black and Latino youth's crime rate has gone up drastically. Is there anything that you're prepared to do in Congress to bring back programs for our youths, i.e. sports, music, science, to combat this problem?
Well, yes, there is. We need to increase and maintain and fully fund our Title I funding so we can level the playing field so Latino and Black youth aren't disproportionately impacted and don't have the same opportunities. Also, the thing I want to add to that is, in my experience working on the streets of Los Angeles for 21 years, the only thing that stops a bullet or keeps people out of trouble is a job. And what I want to see is an infrastructure bill that creates good middle-class jobs here in California, here in the district, widening the 14, widening the 5, getting transit centers so that people can get downtown, because you're from the Antelope Valley, right? Most people commute. So I want to see that go on, and I think that will ultimately help in those programs that you're talking about.
Questions back quickly. How about the job youth programs? They have all, due to the $15 an hour, a lot of companies, such as mine, have stopped dealing with the youth's job training programs. Are you prepared to take it to Congress so we can get this back for our youth so they can have great jobs?
Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean by your companies. What are these students doing?
I have a catering company.
Okay.
And because of the $15 an hour, a lot of companies have pulled out with EDD for job training for the youths.
Okay. Well, what I want to see is more occupational training. That's why I want to see places like COC and Antelope Valley College get the funding they need to increase their infrastructure and get their classes in the classrooms. I was just on a Citizens Bond Oversight Commission for Vasquez High School. When you drive up the 14, you'll see it. One of the things we did was put in a huge commercial kitchen so we can teach the kids the culinary arts, because those are the good jobs that aren't going to get shipped overseas. Those are the jobs where, I'll tell you what, if you get one of those graduates, you're going to want to pay them $15 an hour, because they're already going to know what they're doing and they're going to make you money. So those are the kind of things that we should be investing in, and that's what I would work towards.
Hi, I'm Stacy Fortner. Hi, Lou.
Hi, Stacy.
Nice to meet you.
I agree. It's okay, Minerva.
In what ways does being the only candidate here tonight with local government experience make you the best qualified to take on Steve Knight in November?
You could tell me the question beforehand, But what makes me well qualified? I've been elected to the Agua Dulce Town Council, and it's nice to be in a place where everybody knows where Agua Dulce is. But I've been elected there 3 times now, and I'm used to working with the community. I'm used to working with large organizations like the county and getting things done. You know, I deal with conflict every day for the past 2 decades, so going to Congress is going to be no different. It's going to be finding common ground, finding things to agree on, finding mutually beneficial, not arrangements, but goals, and working towards those goals. So I think having that experience is going to benefit me greatly.
I'm going to ask the same question I asked Mr. Baumberger. Do you think a congressional candidate should be required to be a permanent resident of the district, say for a year or more, before filing to run, and then, if elected, be required to reside in the district while serving, such as California state senators are required to do? And why or why not?
Well, I agree with Jeff's answer. I thought it was a great answer, but I think that it's very important that you're part of the community that you want to represent. The bottom line is, you know, our founding fathers intended for us to send our representative to Washington, not have Washington send us our representative. So while it's true that you don't have to live in the district to run, I mean, that's the law, you don't have to live here, I think it would behoove that person that wants to run, that wants to be a part of the community, to come learn about the community before they do that.
With you the last at the William S. Hart Center, one of the conversations we had was on the Social Security, and you made it very clear you felt it was not an entitlement, but most of us had worked for that Social Security money. What is your position regarding the privatization of it, and what emphasis would you put or say to someone who's 55 and younger about trusting Steve Knight's campaign to have it privatized?
Thank you, Minerva. I definitely support expanding and protecting Social Security. Absolutely. Raising the cap so everybody pays their fair share. I don't support privatizing it. I mean, I think we all learned what happens when the banks control the money, and I mean, that's the fox watching the hen house. It's definitely not a entitlement. It's an earned benefit. For someone to say that your money that you put in is an entitlement, it just seems insulting to me. So when I hear Steve Knight say that he doesn't even think it should exist in the first place, that gives me great pause. What gives me even greater pause is for him to turn around 2 days later and act like he never said that and give a complete 180-degree different opinion. I can respect his opinion. I may not agree with it, but I can't respect when you completely change your opinion because of the blowback from something that you when you told the truth.
Okay, no one's going, I will. What?
Shoot, Elaine.
Dang. I want to know about insurance crossing state lines, opening up the borders so that you could get insurance anywhere. How do you feel about that?
I support that. We should have an open free market and competition. Absolutely, and I'd work towards that.
Okay, thank you.
Hello, my name is Annie.
Hi, Annie.
Hi. On education, what would you do to improve Title I and other federal education programs?
Can you say the first part again? I didn't hear you.
On education, what would you do to improve Title I and other federal education programs?
Well, we have Title I schools right here in the district, and they need to be fully funded. We need to stop the unfunded mandates. We need to fully fund them. We need to make sure that the special education funding, which is near and dear to my heart, I have a special needs child, they weren't able to get the services they need at a school, and I find out it's because the federal government isn't paying the 40% they're supposed to. That's not fair to the student. That's not fair to the other students that are not getting the level of service or the level of education that they should. So I definitely work to make sure that our mandates are funded.
My question comes back to Measure E and the fact that your wife attends.
Can you just Facebook this?
You bet I will. But seriously, we have all this districting, and there seems to be a problem with Brian running from outside of the district, although he's clearly eligible under the Constitution to run from wherever he lives in the state of California. Yet your wife is attending college of the Canyons when your community college district is the Antelope Valley Community College District? Why do you feel it's appropriate for your wife to cross district lines, but it's not appropriate for Brian Cafario to cross district lines?
Wow, what are you, some kind of attorney now, Steve? That's a good argument.
Let him answer the question, please. Stop.
I'll answer it this way. My wife is attending COC, and Brian is running for Congress on the 25th. That's that. It's illegal.
We have time for maybe one question. One more.
Anybody have one more question?
But you got to get right to the question.
We can always count on Sandra.
Sandra Patel, please comment on Trans-Pacific Partnership.
The Trans-Pacific Partnership, I don't support the TPP. It's going to send jobs overseas where the workers are not going to have the same protections as they are here. It's going to ship jobs overseas. I'm mostly concerned about the environmental impact. Other countries are going to be able to make things, produce things without the same environmental regulation that we have here in the States, and that's going to, negatively impact us as a world population. So I don't support the TPP. We need to keep our jobs here at home. We need to keep our strong, vibrant middle class, and we need to keep our environmental protections and really be a beacon or an example to the rest of the world about how to do things in an environmentally conscious way.
Hi, Julie Olson from Valencia.
Hi, Julie.
Hi, Lynn. Can you tell me what are some of the top criminal justice system reforms that you would like to see put into play at the federal level?
Okay, well, I only have a minute and 30 seconds, and that one's kind of broad. But number one, we need to reform our antiquated drug laws. People shouldn't be, in my experience, most people that are an addict have some kind of underlying mental illness that they're treating with the narcotics. We need to make that more, treat it as a disease, not as a criminal justice issue, and stop filling up our jails with that. We need to end mass incarceration. We need to stop the school-to-prison pipeline. We need to have kids that are in high school, that are in middle school, with that goal in the back of their head that, hey, I'm going to go to college, not after high school, what am I going to do, what's the point, I'm just going to go hang out on the street and get picked up by the cops for doing something silly, get a warrant, wind up in jail, and start that whole process. So we need to make sure that we have the education funding there, we need to make sure that we have jobs, and we're creating a vibrant economy for them to be successful in, not to go to school and think, well, I can never go to college, or to have a parent tell their kid, well, you're never going to go to college. So that's going to be I've mentioned college a few times here. Even COC, that they're going to be able to go to COC.
Well, let's give Mr. Vince a big hand.
Okay, thanks everybody here for being here tonight. I want to start my remarks by saying that on June 8th, I want to bring Jeff back into the two-party system and hire him onto my campaign, because I really like what you had to say tonight. You did a great job. So without Steve Knight here, it's hard to draw real good distinctions and differences. So I just want to tell you a little bit more about me. I'm the California Democratic Party endorsed candidate. I've been endorsed by the Ventura County Democratic Party, as well as the Los Angeles County Democratic Party, and every club in the district, every Democratic club that's held an endorsement vote. So I'm also one of your neighbors. I've spent over a decade here. I've coached at the Little League field right up the street for years. Believe it or not, my wife got our kitchen table from the Salvation Army across the street. Okay? I am part of this community. I understand, it's funny, but it's true. I understand the needs of this district. My kids go to school in this district. My house is 2 miles from Cemex. There are many, many issues in this district that I am plugged into that I understand, like about the development, about the water, about the roads and what we need so that people in the Antelope Valley can get to where they're going. It's very important that you send someone that's in it for you. I'm not going to Washington to better my career or to get a leg up on anything. I'm going there because I want to serve you like I've served you in the Marine Corps and in the police department. I want to do what's right for this community as your neighbor and for my family. So I ask for your vote on June 7th, and I ask for you to tell your friends about the important issues and share with them everything that's going on in this race. Thank you again for being here tonight.